If you've been following my channel for the last few months, then you may have noticed that I have barely been posting. And that is because I recently had a baby. And because of that, I spent less time working and therefore made less money over the summer. So today I'm going to talk about how that impacted our budget and what you can do if you have a drop in income. Hey, I'm Marissa and welcome back to my channel. Here on my channel we talk about life and money and how you can enjoy life and still accomplish financial goals through the use of a budget. And so I love budgeting. I've been budgeting for the last 7 years with my husband, and budgeting has helped us to be able to pay off $87,000 of debt, save an emergency fund, a down payment on a house, buy new to us cars, save for retirement, take vacations, and do all those things in between. But sometimes there are months where our income is lower than normal and we have to make a few budget changes. I've been sharing my monthly budgets here on YouTube for many years now, and I share it every single month, but over the summer I kind of stopped sharing and I was trying to figure out how I wanted to change the format. By the way, I'm sharing them again in a little bit different format, but still very similar. And you guys didn't see my budget over the summer, but I will say that we made a little bit less money, and that is because I had a baby in June. I took a maternity leave from my business, which is here on YouTube and social media, and because I wasn't posting regularly and I took a break, I wasn't making as much money. Now there are a lot of avenues or like income streams from my business that are more passive, which I'm grateful for, and so I still was making some money during that time where I was kind of absent from YouTube. But there definitely was a dip in income. And so our budget had to adjust a little bit during that time. So the first thing that we had to do for that adjustment of making less money was take a look at the things that we were spending money on and kind of reel in additional spending. You know what I'm talking about? Those random like Target and Amazon shopping trips. You know, my husband and I, when we started our marriage, we were right out of college. We had $80,000 of student loan debt, and so we were working really hard to pay that off. We lived very minimally, and I remember during that time, I don't think we ever ordered anything off of Amazon. Maybe like once a month, you know, we got some sort of necessity off Amazon. But as time has gone on and our income has increased, and now that we've been married 7 years, our income is about triple what it was, 5 years ago. And so over that time, like we've allowed ourselves the permission to enjoy other things in life a bit more, and that may mean buying some things off of Amazon if it's what we want, not exactly just what we need, but we have given into some of those things, and that's okay. But in this season when we had a lower income, we kind of had to reevaluate that, and my husband Jacob and I had a couple conversations of like, okay, we need to like pause just buying random things off of Amazon and random Target trips. Like, let's really just focus on the needs. And a lot of people may call this like a no spend month, where you just buy the things that you need and not all of these additional wants. And that can be really helpful, especially if you have like a little season or a little dip in income during that time. And the other thing that we focused on during this time of having a lower income was just not putting as much toward our financial goals. And that's honestly really hard for me because I'm definitely more of a saver, and I want to work towards our financial goals and get them done as quickly as possible and be really aggressive in that. But we now have 2 small children, and I'm grateful that we've been so diligent in our finances for the last 6.5 years, that right now during this season of having a 2-year-old and a small baby, like we're able to kind of reel it back a little bit on like being so aggressive with our financial goals. We still are working on them. We're still putting into retirement like 15% this year, and we're saving for the boys' college with their 529s. We're also working on building up our emergency fund a bit more, especially during this time of financial uncertainty with the economy right now. But when normally I'd like to be putting like, a bunch of money towards these big goals, we just had to put less towards them, and that's okay. I'm really grateful that this drop in income didn't mean that we had to like rack up credit card debt or those kinds of things, but instead we just kind of had to put a little bit less towards those bigger financial goals. And I recently did a video on this talking about how money isn't everything. I'll go ahead and leave that video up above. But in this season, like I was really grateful that I just got to take time off. When I had my first son, Peter, my husband had a different job. He was making less money, and I was also took maternity leave from my day job in accounting, and I was trying to make YouTube happen. And so I was trying to be really like diligent in working while my new first son, like new baby, while he was still like a newborn and a new baby, and I was working so hard, and I feel like I didn't get to enjoy that time with him as much because I was trying to be so diligent at working because I had to like financially make it happen so that I could hopefully walk away from my day job, which I eventually did, and also because we just relied on that income more. And in this season of life, where we are now, we do make more money as a household, which took the pressure off of me having to make so much from my business for this time. And so I feel like I could just step back a little bit and enjoy more of this time with my new baby and my toddler. I also realized that that situation may not be possible for everyone, and sometimes you have to do what you have to do, and that's what I did with my first son. And so I definitely recognize that, and I was just really grateful that I was able to take more time off this summer and didn't have to worry as much about the finances. But therefore, that just kind of meant putting less towards our bigger financial goals. And I want to keep working on those. We want to be really diligent in that, but we also have to enjoy life along the way. Money is all about balance. You should be spending money on the things that you enjoy and also working towards your future, working towards those financial goals of investing, saving, paying off debt, like all those sorts of things. And you can do both. And that's what I've learned a lot in my journey of budgeting, where it started out so strong, so intense of like aggressively paying off debt, and we had no life because we were working on that so much that it was miserable. And then quite the opposite, if we never put anything towards our goals and we were just like spending every dollar we had and living life up, like that wouldn't be very smart or be good stewards of our finances. And so trying to find a balance of both has been really important. And I felt like having kids has made me find that balance better, I guess, because I want to do fun things with my family. I want to have these experiences. I want to enjoy this time with my kids. And so we value putting more money towards that, whether that is spending more money on things or maybe in a season not making as much money so that we can enjoy those things a little bit more. So if you're in a season where your income is lower, maybe you're taking maternity leave or your income fluctuates and you know that this is a lower income season for you, then these are a couple things that you can do. Evaluate the things that you've been spending money on that aren't true necessities, and maybe you have like a no spend month here or there where you're just not spending as much on these wants and things that you just don't need. And while working on financial goals is so important, maybe this is a season where you just aren't as intense on it because you have less income and maybe you're working on other priorities in life. Again, it's all about finding that balance and knowing that you're going to continue to work on those financial goals more aggressively in coming time. So now I'm back to work. My son is now 4 months old. I'm sitting here filming videos on the weekend because that's the time that works best for my family, as I am a stay-at-home mom, work from home mom, so trying to find time to work in between. And I'm grateful that I still only work maybe 10 to 15 hours a week. But now that I'm back to it, increasing some income streams, and hopefully we'll be back on track with our budget and able to put more towards these big financial goals that we're working on. But all in all, it was just a really healthy reset, I think, for us to be able to focus in on what our true necessities were, kind of reel back some impulse purchases that we are making, and then continue on with our budget. If you're wanting to learn more about budgeting, how to get started, and how to find that balance between enjoying the things that you love while also working on your financial goals, I actually have a course called Budget to Your Dream Life. I will have a link to that down below, and it'll walk you through everything you need to know about budgeting and help you to be able to find that balance to enjoy life and still accomplish financial goals. And also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new. I would love to have you here. And with that, I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.
About to leave.